I don't feel good. Puke somewhere else. It's finals week, and the hallways are dead silent during class. Everyone's either taking tests or they're doing reviews. Well, on this particular day, this one kid had not felt good. His stomach feels weird. He's nauseous. By midday, he's pale, and he can't hold it in anymore. So he sprints out of the classroom to the bathroom. He turns the corner to the nearest bathroom, and the janitor cart is parked right there. One bathroom is locked, and the other one is blocked. I gotta throw up, he said. Throw up somewhere else, the janitor replies. He tries to slip past him. No, stay back. Now he's panicking, but he sees the garbage bag hanging off the janitor's cart. So he decides he's just gonna throw up in there. But the janitor says, "Shoo, get out of here!" And that's it. Kid just steps back, looks at the floor in front of him, and pukes all over it. He then backs up a bit and pukes more. Now he's leaving this like puke trail as he's stepping back. When he's done, he wipes his face and he looks at the janitor and says, "Well, looks like you're gonna have to clean that up, huh?" And the janitor is mad. But there's nothing he can do because he's the one that refused this kid a safe, clean toilet to throw up in. So now, that's what he gets. His little brother took video games so seriously. Every time he lost a match, he would lose his frickin' mind. This sucks! Stomping around, throwing things, and the room right below him was the older brother's. Dude, shut up! His ceiling fan would literally be shaking every time his little brother would lose it. And this went on until 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. Now he tried asking him all the time, "Bro, can you please be quieter? Dude, it's lagging and I lost the game, this sucks." So he had to get creative. He logged into the house's Wi-Fi router settings on his phone. And whenever his brother began stomping or yelling or throwing things, he would change the Wi-Fi password. Just one character. Here it goes. Well, when you do that, everything in the house would disconnect. He would wait about 20 seconds and then he would change the password back. Then things would reconnect. Now at first this made his brother even more mad because the game would just be cutting out in the middle of it. But after about a week, something interesting happened. Because every time he would stomp his feet or throw something or yell, he realized the game would get weird or disconnect entirely. So it's like Pavlov. Eventually, he just stopped crashing out altogether because subconsciously, crash out means Wi-Fi bad. And finally, his older brother was able to get his well-deserved rest. I'm a genius. This girl's in 8th grade. She's tiny, pretty short. Like she barely comes up to anybody's shoulders. Well, her dad is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu teacher, and he taught her jiu-jitsu when she was very young. "I want you to be able to defend yourself, sweetie, only if you need to." And she was really good at it. She had these skills, but she never had to use it until one day. This senior dude won't leave her alone. "Hey, what's up?" "So what are you doing?" "Hey, what's happening?" "Get away from me." He's getting in her face. The teachers see this, but they don't do anything. He then grabs her arm really hard. "Hey, get back here." And that's when it ends. One clean move. And this kid's on the floor, knocked out. The hallway is dead silent now. Everyone's watching. Well, here's the wild part. That kid goes home that night, and this kid's parents lose it. They demand a meeting. They say that their son was attacked. They want the girl expelled, and the school sides with them until her dad stands up. "My daughter isn't going anywhere. I was walking around earlier. I see cameras in every single hallway. Why don't we run it back to see what really happened? And if you still think my daughter should be expelled, I'm gonna sue this entire school and him for assault." And this dad was intense. They believed him. Then it switched. This girl was not getting expelled. Instead, the guy does. Good on her for sticking up for herself, and good on the dad for being awesome. The locker was jammed. 3 different kids tried the combo. It wasn't working. A teacher comes up, tries to figure it out, nothing. That's when one sophomore stands there, looks, and says, "Step aside." He doesn't even glance at the paper that has the combo on it. He just stares at the lock for a second, pulls out a paper clip, and goes to town. Boom. First try, it opens. Oh my god, finally, thank you. That was actually awesome, dude. Now, this was the first day of school, so the hallways were hectic. Everyone trying to get in their lockers. There's books, papers, book bags everywhere. Well, he just turns around and says, "Anybody else?" 5 minutes later, he's walking the halls like some kind of locksmithing expert. He's opening jammed lockers left and right, even helping teachers open their cabinets. Jammed? There you go. Jammed? There you go. He quickly became the locker guy. Turns out his older brother and his dad had their own locksmithing company, so he literally grew up opening locks. No rules broken, no locks damaged, just a nice guy helping people out. And you gotta respect it. At this middle school, this gym class was brutal. Every single day, mile runs, rain or shine. No basketball, no dodgeball, just running. So when this kid showed up in a cast, people were jealous. No gym for him for like a month and a half. Eventually, he healed. But when the doctors took his cast off, they gave it back to him. And that gave him a brilliant idea. I have a brilliant idea. He reinforced the inside of the cast with foam, rewrapped parts of the outside with bandage tape, and kept the cast in a sling. Then he began making an offer to students. $50 a month. No gym, no questions asked. So what, I give you the money, you give me the cast, and I wear it for a month, and then I don't have to do gym? That's right, my furry little friend. What? Nothing. And it worked. Kids who paid would get the cast, put it on, and be limping around school, holding their arm like it hurt. They could even pay extra, and this kid would forge doctor's notes for them. Well, when they walked into gym class with his cast on, the gym teacher asked no questions. They were just gonna sit out, and that was that. Well, demand got so high, the wait list was pretty long. He even had people Venmoing him early to reserve a spot. Well, some teachers were starting to get skeptical about why so many kids were breaking their left arm, but it wasn't that big of a deal yet. And soon enough, this entire business fell apart. One of the kids who rented this cast for a month let his friend borrow it for his gym period. I don't want to do gym today, man. Bro, it's fine. Take this. I rented it. It's mine for the month anyway. Here, put it on. Nice. Super dumb move. So third period, one kid walks into gym class with a cast on. Then fourth period, a completely different kid walks in with the same cast on to gym class. The gym teacher clocked it immediately. They both got sent to the office. They snitched on the kid who ran this business and boom, everything was shut down. Kind of a brilliant idea, but maybe it could have been executed better, but still, you gotta respect the hustle. Every year during the week of Halloween, there was costume day. On that day, kids went all out. Witches, zombies, villains, fake blood, the whole 9 yards. Well, on this particular year, there was a new principal. Fully buttoned up shirt, by the book, he never smiled. Attention students, this year, there will be no violent costumes on costume day. That means no witches, no monsters, no villains, so pretty much no Halloween. Just get creative, guys, you'll still have fun. Everybody was mad, but one kid spread this genius idea around the school, and pretty much everything went along with it. So Friday came. It was costume day, and almost every single kid walks into school that day wearing the exact same costume. Khakis, blue button-up shirt, weird wig, glasses, and a name tag that said Principal Hawthorne. Principal Hawthorne is standing in the hallway watching hundreds of mini-me's walk by him. What is going on? This is disrespectful. This costume is not allowed. No, it's allowed. It's not violent, isn't it? Your rule backfired. I hate my life. It's 1 a.m. at Ryan's birthday sleepover. I'm Ryan. Pizza boxes everywhere, video games on the TV, and then Ryan falls asleep. Hey, yo, birthday boy fell asleep first. Do we have to mess with him? And so they did. One kid grabs a permanent marker and begins drawing stuff on his face. No. Another kid takes the entire bag of Cheetos and begins dumping it on his chest and putting Cheetos in his pockets. Cheetos here, some Cheetos there, mountain of Cheetos right here, Cheetos in your pocket. Nice. Then one kid takes a raw hot dog out of the fridge and puts it in his ear. Yeah, hot dog. And that's what woke him up. What's going on? Why am I covered in Cheetos? Don't look in the mirror. What do you mean? But the thing is, Ryan didn't see this as some sort of lighthearted prank. He saw red and began freaking the absolute heck out. You guys are dead. He begins throwing stuff all around the basement. Plates are shattering, windows broken. He takes the tiniest kid there, named Jensen. I'm Jensen. Picks him up and throws him at the flat screen TV. Jensen's fine, he's got a couple bruises, but the TV is destroyed, and pretty much so is the entire basement. His parents then wake up, come downstairs to see what's going on, and they freak out as well. They send everybody home, and Ryan was grounded for a month. This kid shows up to second period and says, hey, what's up guys? There was a deer stalking me in the parking lot. Oh, what? Yeah, I was walking into the building and I look over and this deer is just looking at me from behind a tree. I walk a little farther and there he is at a different tree, still staring at me. So of course, everybody starts making fun of this kid. They're calling him Deer Boy this entire class and he's like, guys, this is so dumb. I saw a deer. Whatever. Third period starts and all of a sudden, throughout the entire hall, you hear a giant crash. Guess what it was? A deer literally jumped through one of the classroom windows. Not like near the window, like through it. What was that? What happened? A freaking deer jumped through the classroom window. It's still in the room. Oh my God, he's coming for me. It was an absolutely absurd moment. Nobody knows what to do because this deer's kind of freaking out in this classroom. They don't know what to do with it. Well, this one teacher shows up, Mr. Redding. And apparently, Mr. Redding has had a lot of experience with deer. He somehow went in there, calmed it down, and walked it out of the school. How'd you do that, Mr. Redding? Well, I had a pet deer once, and he was my best friend. And after that, everybody stopped calling this kid Deer Boy because obviously there was a deer near the school and it jumped through the window. I wonder if it was coming for him. That's kind of freaky. This kid ran a genius hustle. So at this one school, if your phone ended up in the lost and found, it stayed there until the parents of that student picked it up. That was the rule. If they took your phone, you were not getting it back. Then this kid named Marcus starts a business. $10 and I'll get your phones back before 6th period. Bro, what? They're in the front office. Yeah, well, Marcus had an older cousin that worked in the front office. And every day during lunch, Marcus would go to the office to say hi to his cousin. And when he did that, his cousin would quietly hand him a phone wrapped in a napkin. Hey, what's up, cousin? Oh, hey, Marcus, hope you're having a good lunch. Here is your snack I brought you. Good man. And nobody noticed. He had a group chat, phone retrieval services. You would DM him what class you lost your phone in and what your phone case looked like. He even had tiers. $10 for standard pickups during lunch, $15 if you had to go to the office during class, it's a bit more risky, and $20 if you get caught again the next day. It became this underground thing. But here's the twist. Eventually the principal finds out about this. He made a deal. I won't punish you, but for this next week, every single time someone messages you to do this, give me their name. Fine. He became a freaking informant, and for that next week, he busted a lot of kids. Eventually, they found out that he had flipped and his business was completely washed. But still, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. You are not allowed in the nurse's office anymore. He thought she was joking. She wasn't. This kid got banned from medical care. So in 6th grade, there was this kid, let's call him Owen. Always had some weird stomach thing, or headache, or sore throat. Honestly, yeah, he faked it a lot. He'd go to the nurse's office like it was his part-time job. But one day, the nurse goes, Owen, we've seen you 9 times this month. From now on, no more nurse visits unless it's an emergency. He's like, okay, what? Well, 2 weeks later, gym class. They're playing dodgeball and Owen face plants into the floor. He's seeing stars, he's holding his head. Oh man, he's in a lot of pain. Coach goes, I'm gonna take him to the nurse. He walks into the nurse's office and the nurse literally said this, Coach, he's playing you. I promise you, he's playing you like a fiddle. He doesn't need the nurse right now. He's completely fine, okay? I don't want to hear it. I have a phone call in 5 minutes. Okay. So for sure, the nurse was being 1000% out of line there. Super dangerous. Anyway, Coach takes Owen back to the gym. How you feeling, buddy? You okay? Well, now Owen's slurring his words like, I'm fine. I think I just need a nap. Eventually, the coach freaks out. He doesn't even want to deal with the nurse anymore. You guys just sit in the bleachers for the rest of class, okay? I'm taking him to the hospital. He leaves the rest of the class there in the gym and he drives this kid to the hospital himself. Turns out, Owen actually had a mild concussion and the coach doesn't take this lightly. He brings it up to the school board. The school board is now in panic mode. The nurse is being investigated. Owen is no longer banned from the nurse's office. This could have very well been a lawsuit. Owen fully recovered. But you know him, once he realized the nurse ban was off, he was still in there multiple times a week just to skip class. What are you gonna do? What's going on back there? Call a priest! This happened in elementary school. There were 2 sisters that lived at the top of a very steep hill. And I mean super steep, winding hill. Them at the top. And every morning, the school bus had to climb all the way to the top just to get them. But one morning, one of the sisters gets on looking pale. She sits in the back, she's quiet, the vibes are not good. Well, halfway down the steep hill, she throws up. Hard, loud, full forced. Right into the aisle. Her sister sees it and immediately throws up as well. A couple of kids nearby start gagging and then they throw up. And most of them are throwing up in the aisle. And remember, this is going downhill. So as they're puking, this river of vomit is just flowing to the front of the bus. And as the river passes each row, those people begin to throw up. Like a chain reaction. Every seat, somebody's adding to the stream. Like it's a contagious situation. Well, the river of vomit reaches the front. That's when the driver, Miss Jeannie, finally notices. She slams on the brake, stands up, turns around and says, "What is going on back here?" Then she sees it and immediately wishes she hadn't. She radios the school. Oh my god, it smells. We're gonna need all the towels you have, and maybe call a priest. When the bus finally pulls up to the school, the principal and the nurse are waiting. Ginny opens the door to the bus, and the puke starts to pour out of it. That's how much was in there. Eventually, everybody gets off the bus, but the smell follows them into the school. And I kid you not, kids were throwing up in other classrooms just from the scent. And that day went down in history. What a frickin' nightmare. Yo, I think the cap fell off the milk. Oh, we always keep it like that. It's so the milk can breathe. I'm not drinking that. It was this dude's first time visiting his friend's house, and everything seemed normal for like 5 seconds, you know. He walks into the kitchen and he notices that there are no lids on anything. No cap on the milk, no lid on the orange juice. Peanut butter jar open, the soap bottle open. Hey, you guys forgot to put the lids back on, everything. Nah, bro, my mom says lids trap bad energy. Everything's gotta breathe. Even the milk. Especially the milk. He watches in horror as his friend pours himself a glass of milk from the open jug. He sits down for dinner, and he notices this kid's mom is bringing over a jar of spaghetti that's been sitting out on the stove all day without a lid. And earlier in the day, he saw flies around it. She notices this kid's uncomfort. Oh, don't worry, sweetie. This is all still good. It just had to breathe all day. At one point, he looks over to the kitchen counter and he sees the dog licking the butter that's sitting on the open butter tray. Hey, what? And nobody's saying a word about it. Throughout the entire meal, he's pushing his food around, pretending that he's eating it, but he's not gonna touch this stuff. And everybody else is chowing down like it's a Thanksgiving meal. After that, he always gave an excuse whenever he was invited back to that house. Oh, sorry, my mom said I can't, leave the house on Tuesdays. Because to him, one visit to the no-lid house was enough for a lifetime. Yeah, I agree. Yo, what is that? Oh, that just happens sometimes, don't worry about it. Okay. This kid's standing in the lunch line, bored, hungry, then he sees it. Something's moving by the nachos. It's tiny, it's hard to see, but something is definitely moving by the nachos. He squints and looks a little closer. Tiny legs, tiny wings, bugs everywhere. But it's just right at the cracks. Like he noticed it, but other people might not have. He pulls out his phone and zooms in. Oh, it's worse than he thought. The next station, the pizza station, same thing. He's zooming in the cracks and there's just bugs crawling around everywhere. He shows the lunch lady. Ma'am, we got a situation here. Oh, that's just the way it is sometimes. Excuse me? He's like, I bet, and he goes to the principal's office. Shows the principal. He looks at the pictures, and the principal's acting kind of suspicious now as well. Oh, thanks for letting me know. You can delete those pictures now. We're gonna take care of this. Kid's like, you sure, man? Yeah, it's handled. Appreciate it. Go back to class. Delete them. We're good. Kid nods and he walks out, but he did not delete those pictures at all. That night, he posts the pictures online and he tags the school and the health department. By 7 a.m. the next morning, parents are blowing up the school's phones, emails flying, screenshots posted everywhere. It's a mess. And at lunch, the cafeteria is like chained off. The health inspector's there. Full-blown investigation. Shortly after that, the principal gets on the loudspeaker. Effective immediately, lunch service is suspended until further notice. And once the health inspector got an even closer look, school had to be shut down for 4 days. Kid's a legend. And to this day, they still call that the Great Cafeteria Shutdown. Did you just laugh? Yeah. You need to follow the rules. So this kid gets invited to his friend's house after school. It's his first time ever hanging out outside of class with this person. He gets there, it seems normal, parents seem chill, the living room smells like candles and soup. They all sit down to watch a movie, totally normal. About 10 minutes in, a funny scene happens, like genuinely funny. Oh, you smell like my dad. That's when the friend's mom pauses the movie. She turns to him and she goes, excuse me, did you ask me if it was okay to laugh? The kid kind of sits there blinking. He thinks she's joking. She's not. I know this is your first time here, so I'll let it slide, but in this house, we don't laugh until someone gives permission. Okay? He looks at his friend and his friend just nods. The mom adds this. It just saves us from getting carried away. Laughter leads to chaos. Let's watch the movie. So they just keep watching, and anytime something funny happens, he sits there dead silent, while his friend casually goes, requesting laugh, approved. After that day, he never went back to that friend's house ever again. So this girl, Amy, she's 15, straight up running a business at her school. Like it's a full-on operation. She buys the snacks and drinks in bulk. She breaks them up and sells them individually at a markup. Classic black market school economy. She's been doing this for 2 years now, and she's not out here just hoarding the cash that she makes. She's buying stuff. She's using her profits to buy clothes, shoes, whatever she wants. She doesn't ask her parents for money, she earns it. And her mom, well, her mom is like, I mean, yeah, why would I stop her? You know, she's not selling anything illegal, her grades are fine, and I haven't had to buy her anything in months. I'm really proud of her. But the school? Oh no. They catch her and a few other snack dealers and boom, week of detentions. And they warn her, one more time and you're suspended. Please, okay. Now the dad's losing his mind. No, honey, this is serious, okay? She's risking her education. She needs to be grounded. And the mom's like, grounded for what? Capitalism? Like, for real, what are we doing here, you guys? You know, she's not disrupting class, she's not failing. In fact, she's doing better than she has before. She's not pushing anything shady. She's just really good at business. The mom says this: the school's obviously making something out of nothing. It's not like she's slinging crank behind the vending machines. And honestly, I get it. I understand, like, rules are rules, but let's be real here. Half these schools don't teach the kids anything useful anyways. Good for her, for respecting her own hustle. And if that was my school, I'd be asking for her supply chain. Big ups to Amy. So this mom sends her son to preschool. He's 5, super nice kid, and he loves the lunches she packs for him. They're not normal lunches or whatever, but they're his favorites. Celery sticks with blue cheese and goat cheese, a little bit of kimchi and spam, they're Korean, and a few spicy Doritos tossed in sriracha. What a bold lunch. And honestly, that sounds freaking awesome. Let's go. Anyway, a few hours after she picked him up one day, she gets a call from the teacher, and the teacher doesn't even try to be nice. Hi, yeah, I need you to stop packing your son such disgusting and inappropriate lunches. The mom's like, excuse me? Yes, they're distracting other students, they smell disgusting, and they are just definitely not school appropriate. And keep in mind, this is preschool. And this teacher's going full-on Gordon Ramsay about a 5-year-old's lunch. The mom is stunned. She says this: look, I know it's not the healthiest, but he loves it. It's some of what he eats at home, and it's just comforting for him. Well, it's making the classroom uncomfortable. So the mom wraps it up like a professional. I appreciate your concern, lady, but I am not going to completely change my son's lunches just because some other students are distracted by what he eats. Okay, bye. And she hangs up. For real though, where does this teacher get off? An hour later, ding, an email from the teacher. This email is saying that the mom's response was unacceptable and that these lunches are just too inappropriate to be sent to school anymore. What? Celery, goat cheese, blue cheese, kimchi, spam, what is wrong with that? This teacher banned a 5-year-old's lunch because she is an ignorant piece of work. Yeah. Oh, is she just on TikTok right now? I guess we can all be on our phones then. No phones in class. What? So this teacher at this one school was just done. She was tenured, bitter, and she didn't even fake it anymore. She walked in late almost every single day, never brought in her laptop, and gave students independent reading like 5 days a week. But this time, she just kind of took it a little too far. She walked in 10 minutes late, holding Starbucks, sat down at her desk and said, I'm not really in the mood today, class, so just pretend I gave you something to do. Then she pulled out her phone and didn't even put headphones on. She just started scrolling on TikTok full volume while sipping her coffee. The whole class looked around like, wait, what are we supposed to do? But naturally, a few people pulled out their phones as well. You know, I guess it's totally fine to be on our phone today, they thought. Absolutely not. No phones allowed. I don't want to hear a sound from you guys. Silent. Do something, but be silent. They're like, you're literally watching TikToks in front of us. What the heck's your problem? That's when one kid pulled his phone back out. Not to scroll, but to record a video.
If I post myself and get, I don't care how cheap something is, if
Just a quick video, her at her desk watching TikTok full volume, sipping her coffee, and the rest of the class sitting in silence. He posted it that night. Next day, 40,000 views. Somebody sent that video to the principal. The next day, the principal pulled him aside and asked him to take the video down. But instead of getting mad, he said this: thank you for sharing that. We're gonna use it. They're gonna use it, he says. By 6th period, the superintendent showed up at the school. He walked straight into that classroom. The principal was behind him. They asked that teacher to step out in the hallway. She never came back in. The next day, they had a sub. Good. That teacher should definitely not be teaching. I bet I can do more push-ups than any student in this assembly. Oh yeah? So this one principal was mad cocky. Always walking around like he was the final boss of the school or something. Well, one time during an assembly, he was giving a full speech about discipline and mental toughness or whatever. And in the middle of it, he goes, I bet I can do more push-ups than any student in this assembly. Everybody laughed. They thought he was joking. But then this one kid stands up and says, all right, bet. The whole gym goes quiet. The kid starts walking to the front like it's about to be a championship match. And the principal, he doesn't back down. They clear a space in the middle of the gym floor. The principal takes off his jacket and rolls up his sleeves. The kid just drops into position. No warm-up, just locked in. Someone starts counting down. 3, 2, 1, go! And boom, they start. Everyone's cheering, cameras are out. They hit 20, 30, 35 push-ups. The principal's arms start shaking, his face is red, he's sweating. And the kid, well, he's staring him down mid-push-up, like he wants this man to quit. 40, 45, 50 push-ups, and boom! Principal falls face first into the gym floor. Just collapses, he's done. The gym goes dead silent once again. And the kid, well, he stands up. He raises one fist in the air. People are screaming and jumping, and this kid is feeling good. They entered the assembly early that day, but for the rest of the year, that kid walked around the hallways like a legend. You're a legend, bro. There he is, push-up guy. Hi, Steven. What did the principal think was gonna happen? That's crazy. Yo, there's pizza in the hallway, guys. Best day ever. At this one school, there was this one kid that we'll call Logan, who didn't say much all year. He was pretty quiet. Good grades, chill energy, he never got into trouble. But on the last day of school, something inside him switched. He walks in, he nods to the front office lady, and he says, last day of school, and I got big plans for it. Now, nobody thought anything of it, until about 10 minutes later. An intercom announcement comes on, but it's not from the principal. It's Logan's voice. Good morning, students and staff. May I have your attention, please? And everyone's listening very intently because he sounds pretty official. Then he says this. Due to a clerical error, several classrooms have been issued complimentary pizza. During your third period class, please check the hallways. People laugh, they think it's a prank. But then third period rolls around and one kid decided to check the hallway about halfway through. And there's a pizza box. And another. And another. Every hallway there were full pizza boxes, still hot. Teachers are opening doors like, what is going on? Whoa, that is so much pizza. But as you can imagine, kids are now losing their minds. Someone grabbed 2 boxes and ran to the bathroom. Where I assumed he sat there and ate them. These kids said it was a complete blast. Yes, it was chaotic and people were getting in trouble, but memories, right? Well, this is what happened. Turns out Logan saved up all year. Lunch money, birthday cash, he put it all into this. He ordered 50 pizzas to all arrive at the same time to the school. He had convinced the school secretary to help him with this because he's told her, come on miss, the last day should feel like the last day. Okay. She let him use the intercom, she helped him bring the pizzas in. At the end of the day, the students were trying to find Logan to thank him. But he had skipped out early. He was already home, chilling in his room, playing Xbox. An absolute legend. He did all of this just to make people's last day of school feel memorable. Respect. He wrote all of that down in that notebook? Yeah. Holy sh! Everyone at the school knew about Eli. Not because he was loud or popular, it was just the opposite actually. You see, Eli was just off. He wore the same hoodie every single day, carried one of those tiny spiral notebooks in his back pocket, and he was always scribbling in it during class. Like it'd be mid-lecture, he would just pause, start writing in this thing, and then he would stop, snap it closed, and stare ahead like nothing happened. Now, people assumed it was a sketchbook or he was writing stories or something, but the rumors started flying pretty quick. Some kids thought it was a hit list. Others thought he was writing creepy fan fiction. It got to a point where a teacher actually pulled him aside to ask him about it. Eli just said, "It's nothing bad, I just like to keep track of things." And for a while, that was enough, until someone found one of the notebooks. It fell out of his pocket during gym class. Oh my god. Yo, Steven, is that what I think it is? Yup. And yeah, it wasn't a hit list, but it was weird. He had pages dedicated to different people. Not in a creepy way, more like stats. Stuff like, Jamie asks to borrow a pencil 3 times a week. Mr. Grant pretends he doesn't see phones on desks. Cafeteria, chicken sandwich rotation is every 6 days. It was like he was documenting the entire school. Patterns, routines, habits, everything. And the weirdest part, he was right. Everything he wrote down was dead on accurate. He had memorized the school's entire system and everybody in it. After that, people stopped making jokes. Because anytime somebody wanted to know something, like what day pizza was coming back, when Mr. Grant gave pop quizzes, what the fire drill schedule looked like, they didn't ask the office or the teachers. They asked Eli. So yeah, he wasn't a problem. He was a database. So a subscriber sent in this story. This one comes from an 8th grader in Missouri who had a teacher. We'll call this teacher Mrs. K. Now, at the end of the school day, most teachers were fine with students having their phones out. Cause, you know, it's the end of the day. It's chill time. But not Mrs. K. Mrs. K had this insane rule. If she caught you with your phone out, she would call your parents. She would then lie about why you had to stay after school, and then she would lock you in a closet. That's real. So one day, it's the end of the day, and this 8th grader gets a text from their mom. They check it really quick, and boom. Mrs. K sees it. Phone now. She snatches this kid's phone, and in front of the entire class, she calls this kid's parents. Hi, this is your kid's teacher. I'm calling to inform you that your child is failing my class. I highly suggest your kid stays after school today with me while I help them study for the upcoming test. Well, I'll have your kid call you when we're done. Bye-bye. So school ends and this kid heads to Mrs. K's classroom, hoping for the best, hoping Mrs. K is not going to be too hard on them. But that's not what happened. Mrs. K just said, since you were on your phone, you're getting in the closet. She locks this kid in the closet, and the kid's just sitting there scared, crying all by themselves. But here is where the whole thing turns around. When that kid got home, they told their parents what had happened. They called the school immediately. The next day, they went into the school to speak with the principal. And shortly after that, Mrs. K was fired. And honestly, she definitely deserved it. This guy said that when he was around 7 years old, he would always wander off in stores. Target, Walmart, the mall, he'd see something he liked and he would just vanish. Well, one day, his dad was kind of sick of this, so he pulled him aside and said, "Hey son, you know what happens to kids who get lost in stores, right?" "What?" "Sometimes if their parents don't find them fast enough, the store keeps them." When this kid heard that, he was definitely starting to freak out a little bit. "What do you mean keeps them, Dad?" "If you're caught in a store looking lost, they'll snatch you up and bring you to the back room, where they'll make you fold clothes and pack boxes. See how the store's always stocked? Those are the lost kids that did that." "Are you serious?" After that, he never left his dad's side ever again. Not once. He didn't even go to the bathroom by himself until he was in middle school. He's much older now. He knows it was a lie. But even today, as he walks through stores, he still feels that pit of anxiety deep down in his stomach. But hey, at least he never got lost.
কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিছি।
সারা রাত? তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয়, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই?
ব্যথা তো বেশি তুহিন।
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে মানে?
বন্ধু তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে। ভাবির মন তো ঘুরবে কিন্তু আরে না 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 দোস সম্ভব না। গাড়ি ঘুরা তো।
হঠাৎ আমার বাসার নিচে কোনো জরুরি দরকার?
তুমি কি আজকে কোচিং এ যাও নাই? সুন্দর মতো যাবি, ভাবির নামটা জিজ্ঞাসি। আর শুন, ভালো মতো কথা কবে, ভাবি লাগে। খালি থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, এই বাদে আর কিছু পারছস?
বুকিং?
বুকিং মানে বুকিং? তুমি আমার, আমি তোমার, বুকিং দিয়ে দিছি, ফাইনাল।
আমাকে বুকিং দিছে মানে আমাকে কে বুকিং দিছে দোস্ত?
তোর যে আশিক আছে না, এখন তো আমার পিছনে লাগছে। আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগতেছে দোস্ত। এই যে আস্তে আস্তে সব মানুষ জানবে, তারপর আমার ফ্যামিলিকেও জানিয়ে দিবে। আর আমার
বেস্ট অফ লাক ফর ডক্টরশিপ। আমি দোয়া করি তুমি যেন একজন ভালো ডক্টর হও।
আমার কাছে জিনের বাচ্চার নাম্বার আছে। জিনের বাচ্চা
করতে চাস নাকি ইটিস পিটিস করতে চাস? বদতমিজ।
হ্যালো বন্ধু,
আমার রোদে দিছস?
এই তো দিছি তো।
ঠিক মতো রোদে দিছস?
কি শুনতে চান? আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি।
ফোন দিয়ে যেতেছি তুমি ফোনই ধরো না, তোমার ফোন ধরার কোনো নামই নাই, কোনো কথা, তোমার ফোন ধরো না কেন?
এবারে এক্সামের প্রিপারেশন কিরকম তোদের? আমি তো খুবই এক্সাইটেড, কারণ আমার প্রিপারেশন খুবই ভালো।
জিসান দরজা খোল। কি বুঝতেছি না।
সুন্দর মতো যাবি, ভাবির নামটা জিজ্ঞাবি। আর শোন, ভালো মতো কথা কবে, ভাবি লাগে। খালি থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, এই বাদে আর কিছু পারছোস?
বুকিং মানে বুকিং, তুমি আমার আমি তোমার, বুকিং দিয়ে দিছি ফাইনাল।
আমাকে বুকিং দিছে মানে আমাকে কে বুকিং দিছে দোস্ত?
তোর যে আশিক আছে না, এখন তো আমার পিছনে লাগছে।
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা? কেমন আছো তুমি?
ভালো।
আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করবো না রক্তটা দিবি তুই?
আমি কেন রক্ত দেবো? প্রেম খরচ তুই, রক্ত।
আমার বন্ধু জিসান আপনাকে অনেক ভালোবাসে ভাবি, আপনার ওর রক্ত যাওয়াটা বিধা হতে দিবেন না ভাবি। আমার কাছে জিনের বাচ্চার নাম্বার আছে। জিনের বাচ্চা
করতে চাস নাকি ইটিস পিটিস করতে চাস? বদতমিজ।
হ্যালো বন্ধু,
আমার রোদে দিছোস?
এই তো দিছি তো।
ঠিক মতো রোদে দিছোস?
কি শুনতে চান? আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি।
ভালোবাসা যে এত প্যারা, এত কষ্ট, এত জ্বালা যন্ত্রণা, জানলে ভালোই বাসতাম। জিসান আর তুলির ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস, তাই রক্ত লাগবে দোস্ত।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম দুলা ভাই।
আরে শালা, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর, কেমন আছো?
গলায় দড়ি লাগাই দিছে ভাবি।
গলায় দড়ি দিছে মানে? গলায় 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 কেন রেখেছেন আমাকে? কি হয়েছে বলতো?
আর বলিস না, তোরে যে বুকিং দিছে সে তো এখন আমার পিছনে লাগছে।
জিসান, আমার দরজা লাগাই দিচ্ছে। আমার দরজা লাগাই দিচ্ছে। কই যায়? কই যা? ফোন দিয়ে যেতেছি তুমি ফোনই ধরো না, তোমার ফোন ধরার কোনো নামই নাই, কোনো কথা, তোমার ফোন ধরো না কেন?
এবারে এক্সামের প্রিপারেশন কিরকম তোদের? আমি তো খুবই এক্সাইটেড, কারণ আমার প্রিপারেশন খুবই ভালো।
জিসান দরজা খোল। কি বুঝতেছি না।